Dima, can you explain the status here in Nikishina? What is the...
Well, in Nikishina actually half of the village is occupied by, let's call it, Ukrainian army. The other half is occupied by militia. And, well, actually there's shooting here every 2 hours. There are no civilians left in this village, so I guess it's completely military operation.
There's 30 left, or about that, 25?
Sorry?
There's about 20 civilians.
Well, I haven't seen one actually. 2 days ago I've seen one old man, but I guess now even he had left because I don't have any proof that any of them are still here.
And how is it here? Describe a sort of a typical day. There's shooting?
That's very simple. You wake up not because of an alarm clock, but you wake up because an explosion is in the next courtyard, you know? That's it. Describing this is, I mean, you are here, you can see it for yourself and make your conclusions.
Есть водички.
Налейте ребятам чайку.
So Dima, can you tell me a bit about yourself, where you're from and what are your reasons for being a Novorossiya fighter?
Okay, well, first of all, I was born in Kiev. I've lived all my life in Moscow and spent some time abroad. I guess more than 5 years.
What's your profession, Dima?
I'm a lawyer.
And what kind of age are you?
I'm a corporate lawyer. You'll be surprised.
And where did you study such good English?
Oxford.
So you were in England itself?
Yes, I was in England, and then I studied in Switzerland. 3 years I spent there studying and working. So.
And what kind of age are you, Dima, if you don't mind my asking?
35.
35?
Yes.
Same as me, I'm 35. So Dima, can you tell me then what made you decide to become a Novorossiya fighter?
Well, first of all, fighter is one of my occupations here. You know that this is a newly born country, and there are too many things which are made wrong in Russia. And this is a good opportunity to make a good country from scratch, you know. Fixing all these things which are wrong back there, which I alone cannot fight. Here, I can help people to make their life good from the very beginning. Yes, now it takes some military force, that's correct. But modern war is not about who shoots who another, you know. Modern war is about who thinks over now. That is actually the battle of minds. Shooting is just a part, it's just, you know, it's decoration.
And you also like to film as well when you go to battle, so you have a camera on your shoulder.
Yes, I do have, because actually I came here bringing some humanitarian aid here. And I had to shoot in order to make reports to sponsors, to guys who paid, to guys who bought this medical and food stuff, etc., etc. And after that, you know, the camera's with me, so I also do some shooting in case we are forced.
So what things have you filmed then? What can you tell me about a battle situation that you've been in?
Well, okay, 2 days ago there was an operation. It was the operation actually was quite interesting because, as I said, half of the village belongs to anti-terrorist forces. I cannot really call them Ukrainian because of purely legal reasons. Half of the village belongs to local militia, and the point is that on the other side, on the anti-terrorist operation side, there was...
You mean the Ukrainians, supposedly?
Well, yes.
How do you feel it? It sounds like you feel quite negatively or something about them, about the...
Negative about what, sir?
About the other side.
Well, I'm not really feeling negative. You know, I am Ukrainian, at least on half. And I really like the country which it was and the country which it could be, you know, and I'm fighting here for what they call United Ukraine, etc., but there's no United Ukraine. That is the crazy suburbs of Kiev. The United Ukraine is here in Novorossiya, because here people do feel free, here people feel responsible for what they do. what happens over there, it's in no way democracy. You've seen this democracy in Kiev on Maidan. You've seen these drugged cookies or tea, whatever it was. I've seen Maidan, and sorry, I don't really feel like this was a purely rebel, whatever. And yes, I had this discussion with the officer of SBU, and that's why they actually denied me entrance to Ukraine. So I guess it was.
Why did they deny you? What was the reason for denying you?
Well, actually, the reason was quite simple. I didn't really explain didn't really say what they wanted me to say. The point is that when they asked me what for do I enter Ukraine, I said, excuse me, I've entered Ukraine 12 times last year and no one asked. Now I was going to Novorossiya just with the first pack of humanitarian aid.
When was this?
It was, I guess, April or May, something like. Yeah, it was just right after Poroshenko was elected. And yes, they have denied me the entrance. So now I do feel that whatever happens in Ukraine, in Kiev, I mean, is really in no way a peaceful turnover. It has nothing to do with democracy, nothing to do with politics anyway. It's purely money.
Tell me about being in a battle then, Dima. So you've been in a conflict situation.
Yes,
firing
I guess.
your gun and...
Well, actually, let's say that currently half of people here have been in battle situations, half didn't. Yes, I was, but once again I say that here no one, well, there are a few people who have very, very personal feelings about Ukrainian or Ukrops, as they call them, and they just, let's say that overall position is that Ukrainian army, at least for people I know, Ukrainian army is not really the enemy. They very often surrender. They very often give away their arms. They drop their arms and they retreat. The point is, the problem is the problem is with right sector, etc. Because I'll give you one example of a very battle situation which was here the day before yesterday. It was an artillery operation. We have attacked the well, it was one tank that was destroyed. It was one armored carrier, and we also destroyed the headquarters of army over there. And the point is that after the operation started, we have seen for, let's say, 1.5 or 2 hours of shooting between Ukrainian army, I'll use this term, and right sector. They were forcing
each other.
Yeah, we're shooting each other. They were forcing Ukrainian guys, Ukrainian army, just to stay there, not to drop their positions. It was, I mean, it was not really
So
only me.
they were shooting each other at the same
They were
time.
shooting each other, yes, and they were. The point is that they just didn't want to give away this position. Nikishina is a very key
The private
position.
sector wanted to stay, the Ukrainian army wanted to leave.
Absolutely, Ukrainian army normally, unfortunately now, Ukrainian army is not a very fightful unit. Let's say they can fight, that's correct, but they can fight when they understand what they're fighting for. Now what they are doing is not really fighting. You know, I've seen a situation when Ukrainian army tried to sell the armored carrier for 20,000 hryvnias.
To the Novorossiya side?
Yes, they were trying to sell it, and yes, we bought it, and we actually paid another 1,000 for each machine gun. So the guy actually.
That's very cheap.
Sorry, I didn't set the price.
20,000 hryvnia.
Come on, you want one?
That's like
If you want one, I think we can arrange it.
It's £1,000.
Something like, yes, something like. And the point is that, yes, these guys are sure that they were not, when they come back to Kiev, they won't be missing in action or something. You know, for them it is a problem, because when people die here, on returning back to Kiev, you ask about these people, you know, there are many charity organizations that do check these facts. But the point is that here, according to Kiev statistics, no one dies. Everybody is missing in action. Since the beginning of the conflict, they've lost, I guess, 2,000, 3,000 people. The point is that for missing in action, they don't have really to pay anything. They are not insured. The Ukrainian soldiers are not insured. They have no insurance whatsoever. And the point is that half of them, including the lieutenants and officers of lower rank, are afraid that private sector will come to for their families. That's actually what holds them here. I'm not asking about what happened to 1,000 hryvnias that Poroshenko promised them on a daily basis, but
you don't think they get that?
I'm sure they don't. If would they have got something like 100 hryvnias at least, they won't be hungry staying here. But now they are coming. Well, yes, we are, let's say, borrowing some supplies that are left here. But excuse me, when the house is destroyed, like these cucumbers, tomatoes, all these things which people, yes, they preserve it for themselves. Sorry, we had to borrow this. Later on, they can come to pay, no problem. So the point is that they also have to live this way. We don't have any official supplies. They do. But they're still hungry. They are wearing something, well, yes, my camouflage is
very
black.
nice camouflage.
Well, thank you very much, but actually it's a hunting
You're a very smart
stuff.
soldier, but this is your own equipment?
Yes, it's my own equipment. And have you seen these?
Explain it to me.
Craziness and courage. Okay, so well, actually, when I came here, me and my friend.
Show me the chevron again, Dima. It's very interesting.
Oh, please.
Okay.
When we came here, we bought about 100 of these, and since I was delivering
craziness and courage.
Yes. I was delivering humanitarian aid to many different units. And of course, everywhere you make acquaintances, you know people, you come to know people better. And it happens that these things, actually we were giving them, to people who are not only crazy and not only courageous. So to guys who really show themselves as devoted to the idea of free country, idea of country where no oligarch power is in place. It's as for me, I consider this to be one of the biggest problems of modern economy, and not only Russian, Western as well. So,
and after the war, Dima, you'll go back and continue working as a corporate lawyer.
After the war, I guess yes, because I have family. I love my family.
A wife and children?
Yes, wife and 4 children. So yes, I guess so.
How old are your children? How old are you? What ages are your children?
The older is 13. The youngest is 6.
And you're 35.
Correct. Okay, so yes, after the war, I hope I will get back there and continue working there. But there is another option. I may stay here. And in case my knowledge and my education will be useful here in order to build a good country, which you might guys actually come and live and maybe even enjoy, because I guess I shouldn't describe to you how beautiful Ukrainian girls are. Okay, so yes.
I've never heard that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Of course, stop smiling behind the camera. Of course you don't.
How do your family feel about you being here?
Well, let's say simple. They do care for me. But in case a decision was made, I mean, what for? I can either stay there and do whatever I can, but I mean, come on, there are 14 million of idiots in Moscow. One more, one less, who cares? And here, everyone can make their income.
Thanks, Dima.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you'd like to give a message of?
Well, yes, I guess I can say this, especially to Western people. I'm staying quite in touch with my mates from university in Switzerland, and I do know quite a lot of people from abroad. And the point is that very few media really covers the situation here as it should become. Because even the terminology used is quite wrong, you know. Keeping in mind that there is a Syrian conflict simultaneously in place, keeping in mind that media actually governs the minds of people now. I mean, it's no secret for anybody, but let's just admit this. The point is that thinking people prefer making their own conclusions. Media should be giving facts, not conclusions. And that's why I really appreciate that you guys are here, because you did come here. You came here to see what's going on. You're filming this. I'm not sure of what's going to happen afterwards, but I very much hope that you'll go home and you understand that. Get lost.
Well, I expected that.
Who cares? That's one of the safest things that you can possibly. Okay, so you guys just come there, go home, and take a good film out of this. Not one-sided film. Just try to be objective, and just one thing which you can possibly use. Be correct with terminology. Calling these people rebels is very strange, because they used to live here and they are fighting only for the right to live here. That's it, nothing else. So what American media does, some at least.
What about the Ukrainians, Dima, in terms of terminology? Is it correct to call them like
have you been to
fascists?
Donetsk?
Yeah.
Oh, then you can enjoy this wonderful zapping show. There are Russian and there are Ukrainian channels on TV.
But what about the Ukrainian fighters? I mean, the Ukrainian army. Is it correct to call them like fascists?
No. Ukrainian army is whatever is left of the army.
In the Pravi sector?
Oh yes, these guys really are, because the point is that they have their own ideology.
So they are fascists, the Pravi sector?
No, let's say fascist is a very wrong word for this. Even in Wikipedia there is a whole page devoted to the definition of fascism, and I guess there are at least 8 or something. So they are not fascists. Let's say that they are fighting for the ideals which no one here shares, because they are fighting to prove the superiority of them as not as a nation. They don't consider Ukrainians nation. They don't consider anyone else besides Pravi sector nation at all. So let's say they are proving their own superiority. It is a clan. It's not a party. It's nothing. It's just a clan, not with blood or something in common, but it's just a group of people which is united by their ideals, and these ideals are strange.
Thanks, Dima. That's all for me.